I promise by the end of this video, you will learn so much about true love and how to maintain it. And this goes for every relationship that you have, whether it be a client, a business partner, a friend. You can apply this advice to absolutely everybody, and this will make your life 10 times better. This is the last point. If you do not do this last point, everything I said on this list does not matter. Trust. It's 2026 and love is not dead. Modern culture makes it seem like love is dead. Hookup culture's on the rise, connection is on the low. With the rise of materialism and the lack of spiritual connection, people are struggling to maintain a good relationship. So this video, I will be letting you know how to actually be in a successful relationship in 2026. Now, who is this for? This is for both boys and girls. I know that a lot of dating advice out there is only for one gender, but this is for both because this is universal knowledge that I have learned through my years of past relationships and learning about spiritual science and psychology that can actually help you maintain a good relationship. This is also for people that are already in a relationship that want to just maintain and keep their good relationship. This is for people who are in toxic relationships. Also for the people who are single. This is how you find true love. Now, why do you want to find true love? How does it benefit you? True love makes you become the person you are meant to be. It is what truly unifies us in this world. It says in every religion how much love is important. And there's so much evil in this world that everybody loves to complain about and post about on social media. But what's the solution to all the evil in the world? True love. Another reason why you want to be in love is because it offers protection. When you love somebody and you're only with that one person, you are protected by people who just want to use you. If you are a guy, for example, you're protected by the girl that just wants to spend your money. If you are a girl, you are protected by the guy that just wants to use you for your body. If you are in a truly loving relationship, you are protecting your spiritual body from emptiness, depression, anxiety, so many of these things that are keeping people at a low vibrational state. True love will rise you up and help you become a better person. Now, who am I? Why can I talk about this? I've been in several relationships, really bad ones, toxic ones. However, I'm currently in a very healthy 2-year relationship, and this healthy relationship taught me true love. However, from the toxic relationships taught me what I shouldn't be doing. After the toxic relationships, I studied spiritual science, I studied psychology, and what brought me closer to love is studying the Bible. I also studied from my parents. My parents have been married for over 24 years, and I learned from them every single day. I promise by the end of this video, you will learn so much about true love and how to maintain it. And this goes for every relationship that you have, whether it be a client, a business partner, a friend. You can apply this advice to absolutely everybody, and this will make your life 10 times better. When you have true love in your life, and that is what you're attracting, you will receive more of it. And this is why it's so important to dial this in, because your life will fully develop and you will evolve into the person that you need to become. Let's lock in. Rule number 1 of having a good relationship is to keep God in your life and make God the center of your relationship. Now, why is that? It is because majority of love and what I've learned from love is biblical. Love, again, is the unifying factor for everything. Now, in the Bible, it teaches men how to love their women, and it teaches women how to love their men. In the book of Ephesians, it tells the men to love the woman like they love the church. And it tells the woman to submit to the man. Now, this can be controversial. However, I have found that to be a very good recipe to a good relationship. I'm not going to get too much into gender roles into this video. However, I just recommend you keep that in mind, that the man sacrifices everything for his woman just like he would to God, and the woman does the same thing for the man. Now, this goes into the second point, serving one another. What me and my woman do so well is we overserve each other. This goes against all red pill beliefs of the woman just serves me and I treat her like she's nothing. I completely disagree with that ideology. I believe that the man should give his entire life to the woman, and she does the same thing for him. And we overserve each other. Now, let me give you some examples. If she's hungry, I get her whatever she wants, as long as it's healthy. You still want to maintain healthy relationships, and sometimes she's going to want sweets majority of the month. You have to say no to that, but get her a high protein meal, and she'll be satisfied. However, if I have to go to work or if I'm going to the gym, she cleans my entire room and does all my laundry without me even asking, because she is serving me and I am serving her. So it's no more of a, you did this for me, I do that for you. It's just, we are here to serve each other for eternity. And that is what true love is to me. True love is to me is sacrificing yourself for one another. And that is what Jesus Christ did on the cross. He died for us so that we can have eternal life. Whether you believe that's true or not, the symbolism is real, and the message is even more real. True love comes from sacrificing yourself for other people. Being a true servant is what love is. Something else that we do is we pray often, because we want to be in a state of gratefulness in the prayer. And every time I pray with that girl, I always thank God for her, and I say that out loud. And I thank God for our relationship, and I pray for guidance, and I pray for peace. And me just saying that in a prayer, I'm bringing our awareness to those things. And I think that is the catalyst to what makes our relationship so good. And we are attracting more of that to our relationship through prayer. Now, love is a spiritual act. It's not physical. And that's why hookup culture is not working out for you. You need to be very careful when it comes to picking your partner off physical looks. You truly need to build a connection with this person. You need to look at this person and see, is this the mother of my children? Can I trust this person? Do I have confidence in this person? Do I respect this person? These spiritual ideas is going to carry you into a long-lasting relationship, and it's actually going to be beneficial for you and the other person. Now, everything I just talked about is biblical. So that is why I recommend for you to keep God in the center of your life, read the Bible often together, and watch your relationship grow for the best. I also recommend you guys study psychology together. You guys also study relationship science, spiritual science, study together and grow together. This is going to help you a lot. Point number 2, respect is key. Respect should have been number 1, but you can't put that above God. My father told me, respect is number 1 in a relationship, and he is so true. A person can hate you, but they will still be next to you if they respect you. And they're more willing to serve you if they respect you. So that is why it's super important to respect each other all the time and to protect the respect for each other. What do I mean by protect the respect for each other? Put yourself in positions where the person respects you more. So serving is a way to gain respect. For example, I was at work today and my woman brought me 2 hamburgers and some fries. Why? Because she respects me. And in return, that gives me more respect for her, because she just went all the way across town just to come feed me. And she's putting herself in a good light. Now, a way to lose respect is by getting caught cheating, not doing what you need to be doing, not having emotional intelligence, speaking out of turn, having an attitude. These things make you lose respect for the other person. Because if I can see that you cannot take good care of yourself, how can I respect you and think that you can take care of me? Respect is number 1. Another aspect of respect is public respect. When we are around people, my woman knows to respect me and to show that she respects me. She knows not to talk to certain people. She knows to keep me as the center of her attention. Not because I'm jealous or envious, but people love to be respected. Just like if I were to go around other people and it's me and my girlfriend and I'm not in other girls' faces right in front of her, that is disrespectful. So public respect goes a long way. When you are in a public setting, try to respect the person as much as possible. And if you're watching this, show this part to your significant other or teach them about this, because some people are unaware that this is a thing, that people want to be respected. And that just brings up another point. When you know something and when you want something, speak it and say it out loud. Listen, this is what I want, and this is what's going to help me. If something bothers you, then say that. So the last thing about respect is respecting yourself. When you wake up and you start taking your life seriously and you respect yourself first, that's going to help you become more lovable because you are loving yourself first. And you get what you are in this universe. If you want to find true love, you first have to love yourself. And that comes from respecting yourself. And that comes from taking your life seriously. So that is why self-improvement culture is on the rise when it comes to dating. They say go to the gym, go make the money, go do all of these things. These are forms of respecting yourself. And in turn, you will find a woman that respects you. Now let's go into point number 3, communication. It's super important to communicate what you like and what you do not like. If the person does something you like, encourage that behavior. You tell them, hey, I really like that you did that. That meant a lot to me. If you did not like them, politely tell them, listen, I did not like that you did this. And it's super important that you speak up, because if you keep it within your soul, you're going to start to resent the person, and it's going to start to manifest in ways you don't want it to manifest. The next point about communication is to problem solve. A lot of problems are going to arise in life and business. However, the quicker you solve the problem, the more successful your relationship is going to be. Don't argue for hours. Solve the problem quickly. You guys shouldn't be sitting there for hours on end talking about the same thing. If we have an issue, I ask, what do you want from me? And you also have to take accountability for your actions. If I mess up, I have to look her in her eyes and say, listen, I messed up and I'm sorry. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? How can we make this up? But that takes humility, that takes compassion, and that takes empathy. And that also takes emotional intelligence. It takes defiance of the ego. Do you understand how these things that I'm listing is forcing you to become a better person spiritually to actually maintain a good relationship? You see, some people are just hard-headed. No, it's your fault, or they're the victim, or you're this, you're that, and it's more victim blaming, name calling, toxic behavior. But if you truly want to have a solid relationship, it requires evolution of the soul, self-accountability, respect for the other person to actually solve a problem quickly. Solving problems is a skill in and of itself. I'm way better at solving problems than my girl is, and I'm teaching her right now how we need to solve problems quickly. I remember when we were out at the mall and she was dealing with a problem at work and she just kept talking about the problem for hours. And I told her, stop talking about it. There's a solution. Let's solve it and let's move on. And she was like, you're right. Another thing you need to do when it comes to problem solving is to stay calm, be at ease. When a problem arises, people get super angry, super fed up. Their cortisol rises. It's super important to stay calm and have a clear mind when approaching problem solving. Remember, find a solution quickly. We do not need to be in a state of problem solving all the time. Just find the solution and let's move on. Now, on the topic of communication, it's super important to study. Study psychology, study problem solving, study emotional intelligence. These things are going to help you in your relationship so much. Not just in your relationship, it's going to help you live a way better life and help you deal with people better. Also, studying these things are going to teach you a lot about yourself. And how can you be in a relationship if you know nothing about yourself? If you don't study and you go into a relationship blindly, that's like playing a basketball game without knowing the rules. When you study these topics, it's going to teach you a lot about how to deal with people, but most importantly, it's going to teach you a lot about yourself. Socrates said, a life that's not worth examining is not worth living. So it's very important to study these aspects of life so you can help the other person go through what they're going through, or you can help problem solve. You can be beneficial. You can be an asset to your relationship, not a liability. Now, another point in communication is you need to get real and you need to be honest. If you don't, they're going to sit in your soul. And like I said, you're going to start to resent this person. And these things that you're holding in are going to start manifesting in different ways. That is why there's a saying that everything in dark eventually comes to light. What you're hiding is not going to come to light in general. It's going to come to light and creep in different ways that you don't want it to. That is why it's super important that everything you think you need to tell this person, you should tell the person. Don't hold anything in and be completely real with them, because authenticity is a form of love, and it's going to help your relationship way more than you can imagine. And once you tell the truth, this person has to make a decision. Do I stay with them? Do I leave? And they're gonna stay with you for who you truly are, not for who you pretend to be. When it comes to getting real and when it comes to being honest, I'm gonna be honest. Every relationship is gonna have struggles. That's just what happens in this life. Everything starts to crumple and fall. That is why it is extremely important to have forgiveness. When you forgive the other person, the love gets 10 times stronger. Because when you truly forgive somebody, it's separation from the ego and truly accepting the person for who they are. Now, if they did some real brutal stuff and they're just bad people, you can forgive them and you can leave them. But if it's something that's forgivable, something that really bothered you, but you can look at them in your eyes and still say they loved you, I promise you, this is going to help your relationship so much. The last tips about communication are going to be to be personal and be friends. Like, actually be cool with each other. When you truly enjoy each other's presence, it makes the relationship 10 times more fun. You don't want to be around somebody that's like, oh, I gotta hang out with them, because eventually it's not gonna go well. And that's also a reason why you shouldn't always go for the baddest girl, because the baddest girls sometimes have the worst personalities. They have no personality because they didn't need to. Same thing with some Chad guy. He thinks that he's this, he's that, just because of the way he looks or the school he went to, or he's good at sports, but he has no depth to him. He has no deepness to him. He has no spiritual connection with his soul. So that is why it's super important to get personal, get deep, get spiritual. And that's going to take you to the next level of a relationship. And that's what's actually going to benefit you when it comes to marriage. The reason why relationship failed is because the physical looks don't get exciting anymore. You get sick of it. It's like if you get a brand new Lamborghini, eventually you're going to be bored after 2 weeks of driving it every single day. There has to be some true depth to the person for you to truly last in a longing relationship. I'm cooking right now. This is the last point. If you do not do this last point, everything I said on this list does not matter. Trust. So, point number 5 and the last point is to choose the right person. Nothing matters if you do not choose the right person. Trust. You can overserve them. You can be a good problem solver. You can respect them to the fullest. But if they are toxic to the core, if they create more problems rather than creating peace, these people will drain the life out of you. They're called parasitical beings, where they're just in your life to take your soul and to give you nothing back. You need to be very careful of these people. And that is why it's super important to choose the right person. As a guy that truly wants to provide for my woman and truly wants to be successful to provide for my family, my life is difficult. My life is kind of hectic. So when I come home to my woman, I want to be at peace. I don't want to be dealing with any more problems. So that is why it's super important to choose a person that aligns with these values. Choose a person that is a peacemaker rather than a problem maker. Choose a person that is a problem solver. Avoid shallow people. Avoid people who are dishonest. After going on a couple dates with this person, look at the person and think, could this be the mother of my children? Or the father of my children? Could I see us going very long term? Can I connect with this person on a deeper level? If you can't, you probably shouldn't talk to them. Now, this is why hookup culture can be very toxic. Because you get with a person because they look very good and the sparks were going very high one night. However, once you truly get to know the person, you realize you want nothing to do with them. So then you leave them, and then it just feels like you have an emotional disconnect. Like you gave yourself to somebody that doesn't deserve it. And this cycle leaves you empty, leaves you confused. And at the end, you're really breaking people's hearts. So that is why it's super important to build a connection with the person first before engaging in any type of sexual activity with them. And maybe, just maybe, this is why God put in the Bible to wait till marriage. I'm not saying I did that, but honestly, it's some pretty solid advice because you get to truly know the person before committing physically to the person. So those were 5 tips on how to actually have a good relationship in modern culture 2026. And I'm just scratching the surface. I can go extremely deep into every single point, and I have multiple more points that actually help you get in a good relationship. If you truly want to grow the relationship with yourself and with your significant other, you can work with me one-on-one or join my community. I'll be dropping my community in the description. I talk about things I learned, sources that I'm studying, what helped me get to the point I am now. I will also be dropping a link if you want to work with me one-on-one and truly want to take your love life or your spiritual life to the next level. People are the most important aspect of the universe. You can get cars back, you can get money back, you can get anything material back. However, you cannot replace the love that you had with another person. Leave a legacy of love. Lock in.